Whew. Hi, everybody. I'm Willem.
And I'm Tim.
And this is Hear Me Out Pitch. All right, good. We are recording. So welcome, everybody, and welcome to all of our new listeners who are coming in for the first time. If this is your first time, go back, listen to everything else, and then watch the last couple videos, because that's where we're at. And for anyone...
feel free to finish this one, too.
That would be nice.
But
you're already here.
We're
fine.
This is episode
welcome.
82.
82. So you got a whole bunch to watch and mostly listen to, because we didn't really start doing this until we hit about 60, in the mid-60s. So, but really the videos, it's just so I can make funny videos of us yelling at each other, and hopefully people watch, which has led to a little milestone. The last episode, 50 views. And I know that people are probably going to watch that and go, really? 50? That's crazy. Yeah, it is. I know that people get thousands and millions by the day, but for this little podcast, for 2 years.
For our little guy, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's, yeah.
When consistently our videos have been getting between 0 and 8 views consistently.
No. Well,
we've had a few that have gotten upwards of like 15. But
here's one of the big things that really just was a big Achilles tendon blow to us, was when Google Podcast got switched over, because there was a day where we got 40 views the first time. Like, I posted a podcast episode and it got 40. Like, consistent, people listened to it all the way. Like, we were getting followers. And then Google Podcast died, YouTube got the rights, and they turned to YouTube Podcast, but no one really uses YouTube for podcasts. So, yeah, that's why you see both on our channel. I bet it must bug some people that you get episode 81. Oh, but yeah, for anyone from YouTube Shorts, welcome. For anyone watching from TikTok Shorts, hey, go listen to the podcast. You can find us everywhere. We gotta get back on the Facebook, don't we? Ugh.
It's lacking. That's not bad.
His food supply. All right.
Man, dang it! You already fed me today.
That's true. I gave you a taste of what I had for dinner. Jeez.
I ate dinner already, so I'm not gonna starve.
All right. I'm wasting away. But today's gonna be a fun one. I told Tim about kind of an idea. This idea, I should preface that this idea is not something that isn't what I wanted for a story, but it honestly was something that I thought about what would happen in the real world. And I guess
of course we're gonna make a story out of it.
Yeah, because I've always here goes the statement. The statement is, what if the judges of our world were deaf and blind, so that way there would be no form of not prejudice, but bias. No bias. It's like toe bias, but no. Yeah, that's kind of where I've been going. And I started going down this train of like, well, and this kind of sounds like the beginning of a Hunger Games type story. I immediately started going down that rabbit hole, like She Who Laughs, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it fell right into it. The idea was that if a baby was ever born blind, they would be put into the system. But then there were the select few, because of course a baby that's born blind, they need a purpose. And I'm not, to anyone who is deaf or blind, if you're listening, if you're deaf and you're watching, thank you a lot. But no, I'm just digging a hole. I might cut that out. I'm not gonna cut it out.
He knows what he said.
He knows what I hope. But the point is, when I say this isn't to degrade or anything. I just had a thought of the people who are deaf and blind have different ways of feeling and sensing this world than we do. They get to experience the world different. So I thought if there were judges, jury, and honestly, I was thinking in some cases, I don't want executioners, what if they were all blind and deaf? Or at least blind. I think blind is the main key of it. So, but imagine just with me, Tim, kind of a, fill in the blank of whatever post-apocalyptic show you want. Hunger Games. What's some of the other ones? I can't even think of them. They all came out around the same time, and they were so confusing. I thought they all were the same.
Hunger Games is the big one.
But what was the one that like came out a couple years after? And there's a trilogy, and it's the main character's female, and she is in like a secret underground bunker for most of her life.
No idea.
You all are probably going to be like, it's this one. I can't remember. But the point was, I wanted to treat it like Anthem. Did you ever read the book Anthem?
No.
Dang it.
We had a choice in high school between reading Anthem or The Hobbit. So, of course, we chose The Hobbit.
Oh, my God.
It was unanimous.
Like, look, that Hobbit is wonderful.
It was unanimous.
But I didn't get that choice. Our choices were, I had Anthem, I had All Things Fall Apart. I was in AP and CE English for most of high school. Look where that got me, nowhere. So, and now my English takes a big hits because me fail English many times. It's been just kidding.
He's actually pretty, fluent in English when we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. When he's on the spot.
And I'm very vulgar. And you guys might not believe it, but yeah, it's fine. Sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking with it. It's not much. I think maybe we can get a skeleton of it out there, but it's just something simple to go off of today. I know that it's been a while since we've had something, and I know that we did struggle with world building when it came to She Who Laughs. So I don't want to focus.
Just a little bit.
We had
a disagreement.
That was probably the biggest disagreement we've ever had.
It was a disagreement, and it was more miscommunication than.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
No.
That's a good one, by the way. I would recommend it.
Yeah, me too. The guys that created are kind of weird, but
we have to get these stories written out soon, and that's the goal, and it just takes time. So we'll just keep making more side projects to do. It's fun. So I guess in the setting of it, I don't think I would want it to be post-apocalyptic. I think it would just become something that becomes the norm, kind of like Handmaid's Tale. Do you know that story? Really?
No.
Oh, you're gonna get flamed for that one. Big show on Hulu. I won't go too much into it.
I don't have Hulu.
Okay, fine. But the premise of it,
barely afford Disney Plus. You expect me to be able to afford Hulu on the side?
That's why I do the thing that combines it. Anyway, this video today is brought to you by. I'm just kidding.
By us.
By us.
Because we don't get.
Sponsor us, please. Oh, this is just a side job, guys. We do this for fun.
We have real jobs. Don't worry.
Just kidding.
Side note, guys, I did it. I got him to play Destiny.
Oh gosh, yes, he did.
I had to.
I have played like 2 hours. That's it. Like I haven't. Like he showed me it that night, and then I haven't.
It was a solid
at least 3. Fine.
It was a solid 3.
3. It's fine.
I sat on the couch next to him, and I pointed things out for him.
You're gonna grab that. You're gonna put that there. You're gonna shoot it.
I watched him jump off the edge and die within the first 30 seconds. It was great.
You can triple jump? Yeah, you can, Willem. Oh!
Wait, that's not a platform.
I used to be a cow. Oh, okay. Oh, anyway, that is enough tangent.
Anyway,
sorry, buddy.
Sorry, I had to tell you.
He had to say
succeeded.
He won.
My life is complete.
Oh,
not actually.
No, you got a bit. We good. Something big, but yeah, I think that's kind of where I don't want it to be post-apocalyptic, but it's a world that. I
think it could be just very, how Star Wars, the prequels are very political.
Yeah. And that's what Handmaid's Tales is, or The Man in the High Castle, like World War II 1, and Nazi Germany kind of takes over America, not peacefully, but it's just society that's there, and you're like, okay.
So here's the question: do we want this to be set on Earth, or do we want it to be set in some fanciful, world with aliens or dragons or whatever?
No, and here is what
with aliens. I mean, outer space sci-fi could be kind of fun. It could fit, very Star Wars-esque, but
here's what I imagined in my head when I think of this world that it's in. I think of togas. I think in sepia color. There's no real color in this world for some reason. Like, that's just how it looks to everybody. It's just bland. And it's not steampunk, but it's not modern. It's just this weird...
It's a weird blend. Did you ever see the movie The Midas Box?
No.
No? Great movie.
But
actually a really good movie.
I definitely think it could work with outer space, with aliens. I think if maybe humans were, if we had, of course there'd be no bias. We wouldn't want there to be biases against any race, whether it be human or alien. I could see that.
I'm imagining so the Midas Box is kind of set in the 20s. I say the 20s, the 1920s. We're in the 20s right now, but yeah,
and not just in it, halfway,
more than halfway.
Yeah. When you get to 26, that's when you're past halfway officially. You know what I mean? Because 5.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, but yes.
Yes, but no.
Anyway, it's set early on. Anyway, it's very steampunky, but like. It's too... I don't know. It's very steampunky in a way that doesn't fit. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So like in a world where...
In a world
where it's just kind of not steampunk. There's a lot of steampunk stuff. It's kind of cool. Like I said, it's a really good movie. You should watch it.
All right, I'll have to look it up.
Not a lot of people liked it, but I thought
Midas
it was great.
Box. That's what you said?
The Midas Box.
Okay. I'll have to look it up.
Very good movie. Anyway, so, I'm imagining very like steampunk, but out of place.
Yeah, out of place. I imagine it
could be like magical steampunk.
Yeah. So
like there's energy sources, like just pure elemental energies you can harness, and then you just like a battery, you just hook it up.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
If you want to add stuff, I think you can add the flavor. The main point I wanted was that...
I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, you're fine. I love it. I kind of think, and bear with me for this, I think I would love to see the trope of the two young main characters, and they are set on this path to become these judges. Because I would like to think that they take children who are blind, and automatically that will make them one of the judges. If you're born blind, you're automatically going to be one. But not everybody's born blind. There's already a whole show where everyone is born blind.
Daredevil would be... Daredevil would be one of these.
He would be, I
think lawyers too would make sense.
No, everyone in this there's no bias. So yeah, there's no like everyone in judgment in any way is like, and I'm thinking even the police force, like, so exactly what you're thinking. They would be all daredevils. He's highly trained, so maybe they're not deaf. Actually, no. I did want some futuristic because I wanted that they don't hear things the way we do. It basically just narrates in their head. So
my name is Tough.
My name is Tough. Like, no.
Rhymes with tough.
So it's kind of like that, but it's just that I would make it that they wear these things that you don't get to see you get to see it's exactly like Daredevil, how he sees. He gets echolocation, he gets a vague...
More hemalurgic spikes.
Yes.
Where you're able to see investiture, not I guess you're able to see the sources of metal / investiture as opposed to seeing
Yes.
in color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That really is. And I wanted it almost like an Etch-a-Sketch. That's how I was imagining it in my head. That like scrawly,
Ooh.
not like it is someone
Okay.
Etch-a-Sketching, but
Okay.
it's that. Imagine if the whole, or like the Take On Me music video, just that etching. It's, you can imagine it in your head.
I can see it in my head, yes.
But when they hear things, I would either have it that they literally have subtitles in their visors, whatever, or they just have a voice that there's just one set voice, and it is this monotone. This is a big word for me. Ambiguous.
Ambiguous.
Is that the correct? When it's neither male nor female. Okay. And yeah, so they would just be these mute, emotionless things that's what they're trained for. And honestly, I guess I had this thought far before I read the Steel Inquisitors, but in a way, Steel Inquisitors are what they would be, just not,
under the control.
Yeah, and we're not just, whoa, damn, spoilers. Whoa. If they haven't read it, go read Mistborn.
Go read Mistborn.
Fabulous.
My favorite book series in existence. I've said it multiple times.
Your favorite book series?
My favorite book series.
More than Lord of the Rings.
More than Lord of the Rings. Barely.
No.
Barely.
Really?
My top three currently are,
Sorry for the tangent.
in order: Mistborn,
Okay.
The Lord of the Rings,
All right.
and then Stormlight.
So what you're saying is, Tim, that if you met Brandon Sanderson in your life, you would be just as happy as if you met J.R. Tolkien. Okay, cool. Yeah. We know that because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, get out.
I mean, I have met him at a book signing.
Oh, okay. You can leave now.
It'd be cooler if it was Tolkien, but that's because he's dead.
I don't think I want to meet a dead person. Thank you so much, Mr. Tolkien. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's kind of that's what they're going to become. And if you've read Anthem, that's how I imagine they want to be raised. I imagine they keep the boys and girls in these situations. They keep them almost ambidextrous their whole life. They all just wear these togas, these sheets. They keep everyone. They learn it. They try to suppress the any sexual desire, anything like that. They keep them just almost like eunuchs without the. But I don't want to.
More like the monks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to do any surgeries like they would on eunuchs or what they do in the Red Room. Those type of things. I can't think of that word. Hysterectomy. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to do anything like that. And I don't know how to, exclude that, because in reality, if they were trying to make these people without any biases, without anything, that they would want to keep them purely ambidextrous, how do you... Ambiguous. Sorry, ambidextrous. 2 hands. They use 2 hands, everybody. 2 hands. I'm about to get 2 hands to the face in a second. Anyway. So I don't know what would be a good reason for them to keep, to not mess with them, to not medically castrate them in any way. I don't know how to get around that. Do we just ignore it and let it go? But I know I want to be able to make that fit in this world, that keeping them, or maybe, I don't know. Because if they want to wait until because I imagine they don't do this until they are adults. And I imagine that when they turn it, so they get to live this life and they get to be praised, they get raised, they get to have all their hearing, they get their hearing, they get their sight, they get to see the beauty of the world. Like, they are treated like these select children. They are treated like celebrities, heroes. They are pampered like royalty. And then when they turn 18, they will become one of the judges. They will become one of the sentries. And I don't know how they would choose who would be who. I don't know if they would be doing trainings.
I feel like there'd be a system in place to separate out the ones that are destined to become judges from those who are destined to become lawyers, from those who are destined to become just like a bailiff in a courtroom, to those who are destined to become police officers or any other military. Excuse me. Ow, hiccups. Any military, anything.
Oh, that's why they wouldn't want to do the. And that's, I feel like that's why that's what I do remember why I didn't want them to be castrated, because I would want them to, grow with all their.
Grow normal.
Yeah, grow normal. I don't want them to have any changes in any way. I want them, and the people watch it, the watchmen, the watchers who watch over this select group, they would take them over time, because most likely if you have, because you wouldn't want to suppress all of the testosterone, because if someone could be a brute and they can be someone who's quick and fast, they could be an enforcer, they could be a general, they could be whatever. So they would want that. I guess, yeah, if you took that away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we have a good thing. So, boy and a girl, main characters. You're not supposed to fall in love. These two do. She's going to be a judge, which is one of the highest honor, and he is meant to be, I think I just wanted him to be in like a jury. Like that's like that, the typical, like for all my anime fans, just like the little small dude and just the girl he's never hoped to get, but somehow they're friends and like that. I love that trope and I'm going with it. Love it. So that's kind of how I was thinking with it. We've never really done romantic stuff. I'm not really hoping to like dive deep into it, but that's kind of like, that's what I've been thinking. I feel like that would be a fun story. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing that's not unheard of, but the idea that the police force and everything is so biased that non-biased, that's what the perfect system is. But how would that backfire? What would be the other than, of course, they're blinding children, deafening children, turning them into these monsters. What would be the backdrop of having these people like this as our judgment system?
The main issue is the main issue would be, I mean, we see it in our world today, where you have people with disabilities and they're treated different in one way or another, and I feel like that'd be an issue. Whether that's these people with this disability, they are being treated as royalty, even though they're not any different from anyone else, kind of thing. Or even, after they turn 18, now they're forced to be something because of a disability. I feel like that would be a pretty big thing. Because at least in the U.S. today, we have the Disabilities Act that protects people with disabilities and allows them to function, with a normal life, be able to live a normal life, and function as they would normally. And those rights are protected. But imagine if those rights, were instead given to the government to do what they want with said rights.
Okay, I see that. Because now you got me thinking, what would happen to people in wheelchairs? And my first thought was, what if there aren't people in wheelchairs in this world? What if they're able to, I'm not saying cure them, but they all just do implants that let people walk, function. There is no
prosthesis. Yep. Prosthetic devices that allow them to walk.
So really, I guess that is kind of the big thing. If you're born different, you will be exalted almost to the status of being trained and becoming a judgment. So everyone else who is quote unquote normal, no disabilities, no nothing, we are. So maybe they don't
the normies.
Yeah. So maybe, so maybe there aren't people who are born like normal who are chosen for that. Maybe a rare few.
I was going to say, it's not very common that someone is born today blind or deaf.
Yeah.
and even more so blind and deaf.
Yeah. No, and that's what the point was, that when they turn 18, they take their hearing or they take their sight, and then it turns into that whole thing. So like when you turn 18 through this, you will basically all become equal in this process, because you're all going to get those suits. You're all going to get, yeah.
Maybe it's those people that kind of have that aptitude for the law in school, and it's a choice rather than more. It's a choice that they go into law.
I have an idea for the name, and it's called the Unwanted, because it's anyone who was, there's no such thing as orphans. If you are not accepted or rejected, or you are imperfect, you are classified as the unwanted, and you are put through the system. So our two characters could just simply be two abandoned babies.
I like that. That would work.
The Unwanted. Because and I'm talking because that solves all of our problems, Tim. You have too many starving, unwanted kids. Here you go. No more fostering system. No more orphanage. Government will take care of it.
Government takes care of
just
them.
like everything wanted. These children get to grow, thrive, and they're healed of all their issues. Ooh. That's dark. I like it. It works. That fits the vibe I want. What are you smirking at?
Looking at some names.
Okay.
Justice.
I'm not. Okay, this one you might hate me for, but I want to go with Eustace.
Useless Eustace?
That works. Wow. Is that a book?
No, it's in the Chronicles of Narnia. Cousin Eustace.
Oh.
And Edmund and Lucy's nickname for him is Eustace. Useless Eustace.
Well, I like it. And
yeah, there once was a boy named Eustace. Anyway.
I like that name.
Eustace could work. And then I have no idea.
Honestly, the name that popped in my head was Sally. Eustace and Sally. If you can think of a better name, if anyone has a better name, go for it. But yeah. So do we want Eustace and Sally? We'll just name them that for now. Do we want them to be just orphans? Do we want him to maybe she's an orphan girl and he is someone who was born in a wheelchair and he has prosthetic legs? Because I can already imagine a scene where he tries to go after them and they turn off his legs when he chases them and he falls to the ground. Something like that.
That could work.
That's a scene I imagine when when it hits him, that one day, I don't know if they'll see the process. I want him to love her eyes so much. He loves her eyes. They love looking into each other's eyes. And one day he sees what a judge's eyes look like. And they are just these empty. They're beautiful looking, but they're not hers. And I want him to that you can't take away her eyes. You can't do that to me. That's the one thing I have. Something like that. Ugh. Crazy sauce like that. But yeah, it's man. I don't think we've had this dark of a take unless it was these worlds to me are hard, but also I think they're a lot of fun because you get to just go the extreme of your own world. Because what would be, I like the Unwanted. I like that title. The Unwanted will become and this is like the slogan, the unwanted will become what the rest of the world, the protectors of the world. They will become the peacekeepers. They will become everything. Those who are unwanted will be seen. They will be giving sight. They will be giving like everything that we have. The unwanted will, the meek, like, and I imagine like
the unwanted will become wanted.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
The meek will inherit the earth. Well, they are taking care of it. So, like, I imagine that sort of thing, like this dark twist on what many Christians will want as, healing and what the scriptures say. I like that twist that they think that the good is happening with this. The blind will be given sight, the deaf will be giving hearing. Because imagine if you couldn't listen. Because I imagine that they don't give. Would they be operating on these kids beforehand, or would they stay blind and stay deaf until they turn 18? And that's something they look forward to. So maybe Eustace is in a wheelchair for all of his life. So maybe when they take her away, he realizes. So one of the big moments in this movie would be him getting his legs, his magic legs. If anyone's seen Forrest Gump. Magic legs. I was running.
My mom told me.
They would take me anywhere.
Okay. I have a thought.
I can tell you're like really thinking about this one.
I'm trying to think of how we could do this in a way that wouldn't just turn this into 1984.
Well, hold on. So far, I haven't even gone into. We haven't even tackled that yet, but I guess you're right. That's a good point.
Because there's a lot of ways we could take this, but a lot of those ways would take us the 1984 route.
I really don't want it to be about like how they judge. I really do want it to be that they are fair judges, because they can't see anybody. And the thing is, they don't really get to see the outside world. That's one thing I want to make clear. They don't really get to see the outside world. They don't get to see how people are torn. They have prejudices. And I guess we should make it ironic, because I guess then they have to do surgeries. They have to do stuff to make the kids all look uniform and equal, even though they look different.
So my thought is, right, these people are the unwanted.
Yeah.
And we could have a whole thing with Eustace and Sally. And
again, if you think of a better name, go for it. If something hits you, go for it.
No, Sally works. But Eustace and Sally are having this argument, and Sally's like, "I need to do this because, I'm one of the unwanted. I kind of have to do it. Nobody wants me any other way." And then Eustace would say something to the effect of, "I want you the way you are," kind of thing. And that could propel the whole thing where, okay, now they're trying to find a way getting around everything. So she is a judge, but she has her sight. So they'd have to find like holes in the system or something like that, or I don't know. And Eustace would have to go to the underground so that he could get bionic legs that aren't government property.
Yeah. They can't just turn them off.
So they can't just, yeah.
What happens if the unwanted break too many rules? What if the unwanted rebel too far? What happens when the unwanted are truly disregarded?
Then their implants are shut off.
But what happens?
And then they are, for lack of a better term, stuck in the dark.
I guess that's a good point. I guess we're building right now. I think we have a lot of fluff right now. I feel like we have to try to bring it in. Oh, wow, it's been 35 minutes. It's crazy. I like where this is going. I feel like this is actually something that's.
Yeah. I also don't want this to be Bridge to Terabithia, because I don't want them to die.
Happy. I really want happy.
I want a happy ending.
I want a happy ending. I want a happy ending, and I don't want it. I want it to break this system, but I don't want it to be that this system is necessarily like the worst thing ever. Well, from the outside people, so if me and you are watching on the news and we see the judge, like we don't see any issues with the judges, but we do see that how the people interact with the unwanted, that it is a big issue, because I can't imagine what some of these, what these unwanted go through, because I imagine they have these uniforms that hide what they look like, what race they are, what gender they look like when these people walk around, it's a helmet. They speak like they're almost robots, but they do have emotion. They still feel, and that with that feeling of caring, and some of them are very nurturing. They are some of the best people to react, and they have no bias. They just see everyone as, I need to help this people. And then with the judges, same thing. You don't have any form of bias in any way. So when anyone comes up to you, there's nothing. Man, woman, child, black, white, bond and free, nothing. Like, you don't care. I just realized what I quoted. That's funny.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I want it to feel like this system to the outside view is perfect, but it's just these two kids that try to break it only because he wants her. And that's kind of the point. I don't want it to be like they're policing people. I don't want it to be like this thing is ruling the world. This is just a simple police force. The regular world goes by just fine. This is just a simple story, and I don't want it to be like there's this secret thing. It's just this one boy realizes that this isn't what he wants, and he has it here. And I do want that because of this spark, it will cause rifts, and it will cause the system to change drastically, and there will be repercussions, and it will change, and the outside world will change. I don't know. I guess we do have to have a villain, but I don't know how to do it. Like it's like this is doing these straight ideas from me and Tim. Some of them a lot of fun. We work with it, great. Some of them though.
We could leave this up to you guys.
We could. We definitely do want help.
Your ideas on what our villain could be. I don't really want to go the cliche. It's the government. It's
presidents. I don't need a president. No, I don't want.
We don't.
What is that?
I
one
would
show?
I want something clever. That
could it be the system themselves?
Kind of makes you think. I don't know, because I've been thinking. So Critical Role, their second campaign.
Okay.
Caleb, Liam O'Brien's character. He had a mentor. Before he left. His training. And that mentor is kind of what I'm going for. In a way, but not really. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling the story. But I don't know. If you know.
Yeah,
you kind of understand.
I don't. I'm completely lost here.
But I don't know. Something where it's kind of that mentor style character.
Do we want Eustace to be kicked out of this place and he's just some homeless person on the street?
No, I don't know. I kind of want to. Here's my thing. I don't like politics, but I feel like this would be a very.
It could. You're right.
It
and
would be this.
This is we're skirting the line already.
Yeah, this story would be a very politics heavy kind of story, and because I don't like politics, I'm having a hard time coming up with anything that's clever and that's not just cliche because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a lawyer because I feel like I feel like I wouldn't be great at it, and I don't want to have to be a lawyer. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to make decisions for other people, and I don't want to have to lie, and I guess not lie, but I don't want to have to do lawyer stuff. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't like politics.
You don't want to.
I don't want to be.
I'm not saying, and I don't think you're saying that you won't defend your fellow man.
No, absolutely.
But you don't want. You don't want your job to be that.
I enjoy. That's not who I am. Right. I have other interests. My interests are primarily storytelling and engineering. I'm an engineer. I don't want to do politics.
I don't want to deal with people.
You know, I'm Anakin Skywalker. Droids are easier than people.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I think that's. Again, this is just from a simple sentence. What if judges were blind and deaf? That's where I went with this, and I've been always thinking about that. Because they've always said justice is blind.
Well, and most
not true.
depictions of Lady Justice, she has the blindfold,
and that is what most of the judges wear. I forgot to add that flair. Is that all the judges, when they get to that part, they have this amazing, beautiful band, very nice woven band, but it's still that issue that they can still see everyone's outline. So that's what I'm kind of thinking of it. So, and that's why he's so torn, because he'll never see her eyes again, and that's something that I just want him to hold on to, that Eustace wants. And I like the idea that he's in a wheelchair in the beginning, or he's one of the, children with, the bionic legs. Maybe even has a messed up leg. He can be like a Hephaestus character. He's Hephaestus trying to get Aphrodite, sort of thing. All that sort of stuff. It's oof. I don't really know where else to go with this, but I don't want to end it here. I don't know where else to go with it, because I'm not, like I said, I don't like politics, and this is this is that kind of story. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the concept. I just, as a storyteller, there are some limits that you have to put on yourself, and you have to recognize about yourself when it comes to the types of stories that you're telling. And that's why one of my limits is I don't like politics. It's hard making up politics for a world. You'll notice our D&D campaigns, I didn't really mess with the politics all that much. We had a king, and that was cool, and now you guys are pirates, and that's pretty cool. It's cool. You guys don't have to deal with the politics of a city. Nope. Like, the most you had to deal with was guards, the city lord, and being kidnapped, and then it was terrible. The guards throwing you in jail. But that's basics. I didn't want it anyway. It's fine. And I think that even with She Who Laughs, it was more about oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. Not Violet, someone else. Joyce. I love these characters, and I know you're like, well, but you forget their names. These characters are ours, by the way. They are ours. They are our characters, and I know it's like, well, you forgot their names. We have a lot of original characters right now. We have a lot, and many of them don't even have names. We have a couple dozen characters. Yeah. But I think with her story, we focused more on, it was very easy just to say, this world bad, they are extreme, they need to come down. And the politics in that world were very simple, right? These people are they don't like emotion, and that's that. Yeah, it was this and technically, and we still need to go dive into that, and it'll be fine. But most of our stories are very much just more. This AP US Gov. This is a lot of things. So it was, and I'll be honest, I would, if we did continue the story and type it out, I would take the brunt of that and work with that and ask your opinion on that. But I will ask them, Tim, if you would have to have, is there any scenes that are just coming into your mind, like an interaction between the character or something you would want for their building, or just a funny scene in general? Is there something that's popping in your head?
No, I mean, the only scene that I wanted, I already kind of said, where Eustace and Sally were having that argument about being wanted. And then Eustace tells Sally that she is wanted by him.
Okay, we'll just make sure to add that.
That's really it. I don't know.
I think for me, it's simply just, I want him to meet one of the judges. And now that I just imagine him in that wheelchair now. I imagine he's in the wheelchair, and him and Sally, it could be coming straight from this conversation. Sally's been chosen to be a judge, and Eustace gets to go and meet one of the judges, and he like goes and knocks on their door. Like, I imagine it's like this big hall of justice. They all live there, the Unwanted Palace, and it's beautiful. They take care of each other. It's a wonderful place. And he goes and knocks on one of the judges, someone who he's known and has like been a mentor to him. And the thing is, they never take off their eyes. They never take off their sashes. Like, that's something, or like it's something that they don't see a lot. And I want the judge to take off that sash and show him. And I want Eustace to break. And I want him to realize that this is going to happen to Sally. And this is what they're going to take away from him. And I want him to that to be his reason to fight. I don't know if I want them to break the system. I just want them to. I just want to see what would happen to them. But I think for now, that's about it. Short and sweet episode for you guys today. One of our really tougher ones, I will admit. That was a tough story. But coming up for you guys, it's going to be some solo episodes with me. Because somebody...
We're doing our baby moon this next week. So I'm going to be on vacation.
He's going on vacation. So we're going to probably do something. We're gonna do something different now that Tim's gone. So it might be fun. But I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with my care for everyone watching. And remember that we are on every social media platform. Go find us. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the fun stuff. Leave comments. Share your thoughts. What would you want Sally and Eustace to do? Who would you want to be the villain? Or if you're commenting on any of our other videos, same thing. Or if you have any ideas yourself, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your pitches. It'll be a lot of fun. But with that, I think I am satisfied with my care. So, Tim, you want to head us off?
Yeah. As always, we've been doing this a while.
Oh, yeah.
But as always, love each other. Be kind, and remember that love is blind. That's not what I wanted to say. Whoops. Redo. Oof. Love each other. Be kind, and remember that justice is blind, but love doesn't have to be.
Ooh. And with that, we'll see you later, pitches. Bye.
Bye.